Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live. It's your favorite Raiders podcast, favorite Raiders channel, favorite Raiders everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you dislike it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. You guys already know what to do as well. Follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL, at BD Williams 18 for BD. And then, of course, Panda Supplements. Use TDL for 35% off. You can read it right here at the bottom of the ticker here. TDL discount code for 35% off. PandaSubs.com. Go ahead and check them out. BD, we're finally reviewing the bye week KC review. But, you know what I'm saying, we had to take a little break. You know what I'm saying? You know, definitely got a defensive breakdown up there on the membership page. But, you know, it's a bye week. Everybody gets a little break. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Raiders news slows down, even though Devontae Adams, you know, trying to stay in the news with the guy doing his little charge for that, which is kind of weird. But, you know, hey, trying to, I don't know, whatever, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's Devontae Adams never got in trouble, did anything like that, and now he's a Raider, and all of a sudden this kind of stuff. I hate it when that happens.
Hey,
but I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, you know my stance on this. So
you know what I mean?
It is what it is. That's happening. But let's talk about football. You know,
yeah, for sure.
You know, I wouldn't call this a break for me because I have been like in this. I've watched this game defensively over 5 times now at this point.
Yeah.
With my charting and everything like that. So I've been on it this week as far as, you know, checking them out and figuring out, you know, like what was the problem, like what happened here with the meltdown. And it's really not super complicated. It was just, you know, in the first half, they were taking away Kelsey between the 20s, and that was kind of like throwing them off. And then in the second half, Patrick Mahomes was like, okay, I guess I have to throw it to other people.
Yeah.
And, you know, those guys won their one-on-one matchups regardless of who it was against. You know, sometimes it was scheme and sometimes it was just the guy winning. But anyways, you know, that's really all it came down to. And unfortunately, the Raiders didn't really like adjust to that. They just kind of played their same game plan throughout the entire course of the game. Yeah. Including in the red zone, which never worked for them. So it's really not complicated what happened on defense. But I'm going to show, you know, some good things, some things that were happening in the first half, and then, you know, kind of where it all went downhill from there. But yeah, before we do that, talk about the offense. You know, it seemed like the Raiders were moving the ball pretty well. Run game. You know, I really want to hear about the run game from you because going into this matchup, they kept on talking about how Kansas City had like the best run defense. Right? Weren't they saying that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, best one, third best. Yeah, and it was really good on tape when I watched them too. I mean, they were pretty good at run defense going into this game, but I just think the Raiders were just kind of bullied them a little bit. I think they, especially with Johnson back there playing fullback, and just he had a good game. I think they played a lot of 21 personnel in this game. So they found a little formula. You know, they're not very big at the linebacker position, you know, and they're not very big at defensive tackle either. I mean, Chris Jones is huge, you know, and even Saunders, he's undersized for defensive tackle. He's an undrafted guy, I believe. I know he's at the Senior Bowl. I don't know if they drafted him. Don't quote me on that. But there's players like that aren't the biggest players in the world. I think they were able to get some push against them playing power football. Because I mean, they ran outside zone twice, but it was all power, man. They really basically ran the same run play over and over again. Basically, it was definitely like that. It was physical like that. Like, we're going to run the same run play. We're just going to flip it back and forth, and let's see what can stop it, right? And, you know, a lot of it is just breaking the rules and kind of just doing what he wants. I think he probably drives McDaniels crazy, but he drives him nuts. He's like, what are you? Oh, good run, great run. Because, you know, he's bouncing power runs where he shouldn't be bouncing them and taking the ball. And, you know, doing what he usually does with how he runs power. I mean, he's going to do what he wants. That's why he's a little bit better fit for outside zone. He can read stuff and cut back. He's a little bit better fit for him to bounce things. But, it's working out this year for him, right? And he's got to keep doing that. Got to keep running hard. He's not missing holes like that, per se, what I'm saying. But I'm sure he drives Josh McDaniels crazy. Josh McDaniels has mentioned it like 3 times that he bounces.
Yeah. I mean, well, we know that about Josh Jacobs. At the end of the day, if you bounce power, you got to have a big day doing it. You know what I mean? So, and he's been, I mean, he's the third highest, third highest rushing leader in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Third in yards rushing, I should say. So obviously he's playing pretty good football right now. Josh Jacobs, definitely the best, I would say the best Josh Jacobs I've seen as a pro.
Uh-huh.
So far through these games.
Even pass blocking, I think he is playing pretty well. He only missed one big block on that blitz at the end of the game. There was a blitz that he came in really late, and they kind of just were trying to run as many plays. And Kansas City got a corner blitz in there, but he's picking up blitzes really well. He's doing that well. He's catching the football well too. So he's been an all-around back more than just a running back that he was the past couple of years when he was really a pass catching back, and they had other guys doing that. I mean, he really is the pass catching back right now. He's not as fish to the third down back, I would say, because they like to stick with that. They like to stick with Brandon Bolden, which I still don't know why they're going with the Bolden project, which I know Bolden got some power runs in there, but I know I'd rather have Abdullah catch and just make the guy miss altogether. And then I don't know, but they got their guys, coaches got their guys. Bolden is obviously the McDaniels guy, and
Bolden's pretty good in pass protection, right?
No, see, Bolden missed a couple of concepts already. Like
really,
Broncos, he missed one where Derek Carr pointed it out to him. He still went the wrong way. Pre-snap, he's like, "Hey, there's a sack where a corner came just free, or a safety just came free." Derek Carr pointed it out pre-snap, and Bolden still went the wrong way. So I don't know why he's playing, to be honest. But anyways, hey, maybe
put Amir Abdullah in there then. Put Amir Abdullah in there. He's not going to
or something. I don't know. Hey, I mean, I don't know if Jacobs would do that at this point. I feel like Jacobs would have picked it up, right? Yeah. If you play Jacobs like that, then Zamir White's not getting any run, and every time Zamir White gets run, he feels like he loses like 5 yards. So the run game really is just Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs, he's making a lot of it. A lot of the big runs of him breaking tackles and then getting to the second level. I don't know how good the run game would be if it was like Zamir White who doesn't break tackles like that. So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
He's playing incredible. He's playing incredible. Basically. The 2-point conversion, I'm going over that. That what crept up with that play is with Jacobs. Something I always talk about with Jacobs in the red zone. I've been talking about this for years. We'll talk about that.
Was that an RPO?
No, it was not.
Okay.
That was a run play.
There was just like, he was just like doing a little, Carr was like doing a little like fake motion.
Yeah, trying to buy.
Because his back was to the backside on that play. We'll watch it.
Yeah.
I was surprised I didn't see it on Twitter too much, that 2-point conversion. So people were asking a lot of questions about that.
Because you'd have to be critical of Jacobs. That's why. It's basically why. You're not allowed to do that this week. You get 150 yards, a touchdown, 21 carries, and all this.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that this week. You can't be critical.
It's not about the one. It's not the one about the one that he
missed.
And anyways, KC's coming out with a different mentality if they're down 1. Yeah. That last drive. Mm-hmm. And it's not so certain that the Raiders were going to be able to stop them there, right there. They kind of coasted a little bit because they had the lead. It changed their mentality. So I'm not certain that, just Josh Jacobs scoring right there. I still think it's a 2-score. You still have to score again. regardless.
Yeah, I think they got to score again too, because I mean, I think they probably get down and score a field goal or something. They do something going back down.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm gonna go over the 2-point play, and I'm also gonna go over the last play where we talk about timing and the route, all that good stuff. We do some super breakdown or something like that. So really get into that play. Like it's NFL matchup.
Why don't so then you want to go first then?
Yeah, we can go first.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Do you think Marcus is bringing us offensive breakdown here? All these questions, mostly about the offense, what happened here.
Yeah, sure. All right, here we go. All right. I guess permanent full screen. All right. So, Josh Jacobs really was this Raiders offense this game. He had 21 carries. They got 26 touches overall. So that means a lot for a running back. He was the offense in this game. I mean, Derek Carr is kind of just along for the ride. It's basically what this offense has become. If they keep on this kind of train is, run the ball, explosive pass plays, which is fine. Hey, that works. It puts up 29. It's put up 32. The last 2 weeks, that's what you want to do. But we're talking about just Josh Jacobs and his development all together, right? So play action, the screen game. He's really shown his ability to get up in the open field when catching the ball. So you see right here, if he catches this one clean though, it would have been a better run. But you see how he is in open field, how he can make plays. Play action, right with the screen. So if he catches this clean, man, that would have been a huge play. Still a big play. Right there. And then the run game, they basically ran the same run play over and over and over again. All right. So basically what they call this ride 34 gap. I mean, basically you'll see the combos here on this side, right? And then it's basically just man on man, but there's gonna be a combo, right? And then one of these guys goes up to whoever Carr designates as the mic, right? So sometimes these combo blocks, we're going to get into this later. Sometimes these combo blocks, they last too long and these guys don't get off them. You see, you got Johnson coming up right through here on this lead. It's a great block by Johnson, right on 45. Boom. Right there, right? You see a great block from Hollins. And it's just awesome. Look at that hole he has right there. James just squeezes, breaks the tackle. Another guy bounces off him. First down, right? And I'm telling you, this team was probably like, what is going on? We've never been ran on like this before. Same play, same exact run play. Same play. Here we go once again. But Jacobs, he freelances a little bit right here, right? Because this play is supposed to go this way. I mean, that's the design, right? 34 gap. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about 3-4 gaps if you're ever done run game stuff. 2 gap, 22. Some people call it 22D, 22, whatever, in the power run game. But Jacobs just freelances here. He's not supposed to go this way. He's not. And he turns to a big play, and then him and Justin Reed, he just runs him over. Boom, right? We're going to talk about this later, though. We're going to talk about this one later because it's going to come up.
Love that. Love
right?
that play.
Here we go. Once again. Basically, same thing. The lead power here, right? Combo blocks. Jacobs does a great job of just following Johnson here. Great patience, setting it up. 8 yards. So it's just bully ball. We're just playing bully ball here, guys. Bully football, basically. Right here. Another one. Like I said, we're going here. Basically, same run play. Johnson with the big block. Great block by Mumford out there. And then there's Jacobs is doing his thing, breaking tackles, spins off that one. Another big play. So watch this one again. So they're just doing work. I mean, the offensive line, they got to get a lot of props, man. They're doing work this game too. Look at all these great blocks. You got great blocks for everybody. Mumford, Johnson, Illuminor, right? It allows Jacobs to get into the second level and do his thing, right? Gotta love it. And here we go. Once again, we're getting a little lead. Power here. Jacobs with the patience. Burst right through. Boom. And we get a big run. So watch that one again. This is my favorite runs again. He did not used to run power like this. You love the patience, right? Set up the blocks, right? You allow Johnson, you allow Mumford to get to the second level, you allow Luminor to seal this block, right? And then you can burst through the hole like that. Like, look at that burst that he set up with. Like, that's some Le'Veon Bell stuff right here. This is Le'Veon Bell and power type of stuff, right? Hit that burst right there. And even when Hollins doesn't make that block, you still force, miss tackle. You're off the races. All right. And like I said, he's even helping in the passing game. This one. Just making it happen in open field, breaking tackles. Getting a quick 13 on a big drive when they needed some points. Right? All right. So 2-point conversion here. I know we talk about RPO. Let's just let it run real quick. I know people saw the run fake here, the little pass fake, but here we go. Now, I mean, this is just powerful. This is shotgun power, right? So, see the combo blocks. Once again, you got the ace block right there, right? So, really what this comes down to is, you see there's a hole right here, right? But there's Justin Reed here. We already just saw Josh Jacobs run over Justin Reed. We already saw it, okay? He ran over and went forward, right? Right in, for another, what, like 2 yards maybe?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just him and Justin Reed. But he goes inside. And this happens, he's done this all the time. He's done this all the time in the red zone since I've been pointed out since I think Tape Don't Lie existed. I think like our second, third episode, I talked about this in Green Bay where he had this kind of play, right? And you could, at this point, if he just takes on Justin Reed, I mean, because it's really hard to tackle Josh Jacobs one-on-one. Even if he plays behind his pass, let's just say this Justin Reed stands him up. We're getting all these linemen behind him. They're pushing behind him. And it's going to be hard to keep him out of the end zone unless Justin Reed just gives him the tackle of his life. And Justin Reed gives him the tackle of his life, then that's great on Justin Reed. You know what I'm saying? But
make him do that.
Make him do that.
Yeah.
Right? Because if he just goes at him, who knows what happens?
I agree.
But he tries to go inside right here. They're not getting enough push. And then Reed can get behind and grab his legs. And then he can't get the push that he wants anyways. Then he misses. And they don't score. So we just saw you play physical and run him over. You know what I mean? Run him over there too. I mean, look at all that space. It's just him and Justin Reed. Justin Reed has to come down and tackle him and hold him. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I just feel like they could have hit that better. All right, so we're gonna talk about this play, the last play of the game when they ran into each other. Boom, God, but I don't, just ridiculous. But I want to talk about this, them running into each other here, for a couple things. All right. Because one, they never run this play before. Okay. They never run this play. I've never seen them run this play. This is the first time they ran this play. Okay. It's called a spur, like harpoon. Okay. So basically you have the post route, 12 post, right? But you have what the Z does here, what you're going to watch Renfro. You're going to watch Renfro. He's going to go inside. He's going to come up. And he's going to get to about 15. And he's supposed to, right? He's kind of supposed to go over, kind of. So it's kind of weird. Adams not supposed to go inside, first of all. He's supposed to go outside so he can kind of keep the space. So when he goes to the post route, it's all ugly. But the point is, they've never run this route. Renfro has been out for 2 weeks. Okay, they've never run this play. I've never seen him run this play. I tried this a lot, guys. So we'll watch it live here. So you see Renfro, he goes inside, comes back inside, just like that route concept. But Adams is coming inside because maybe he's thinking, I'm going to sell the post like this. I'm going to come inside, sell that post, and then come back like that. Maybe that's what he's thinking. But I don't know if it works like that. I think he should have the outside release, kind of go like that, and then kind of come back inside. But, you could decide that how you want to. I don't want to tell Davante Adams how he wants to run his routes, I guess. But it kind of messed up this play because I still think Renfro cut this off a little too early, too. And you can see he's going into that bull route. You see he's kind of going up instead of a straight out, and he runs right into Davante Adams. Because we'll watch his backside, too. You can watch Carr's eyes. I think Carr wants to go to Renfro here, right? You watch him open up. That's where his feet are originally going. His feet are originally going towards Renfro here. But he decides, I have no chance to get it to Renfro. So I'm just going to throw it up for Adams and hope he gets there. And I don't know if he was. Because you could even see if you go right here, you can see Adams, he's even about to sell the corner, or he's about to see the impact, but he's trying to sell the corner route in the back to get the shake route there. And just run into each other. And we'll watch the backside here.
Run it back to the very beginning of that. All right, let's see. I just want to see what the pre-snap communication is when Carr realizes that the blitz is coming.
There you go. I got that right there. Oh, hold on. I got that.
All right, yeah, it's all good.
You see it right there, though.
Is he gesturing towards Davante?
You see right here. Go back a little bit.
No, he's pointing out blitzers. That's what's happening.
Yeah, he's pointing out.
So they're running the play. There's no audible here. They're running the play.
Which we talked about. They wanted this to be a run play. Like, I don't know why you do play action here, but that's just me. I guess.
Those influence those safeties, 26.
I guess, yeah. I guess you have some safeties, but this is a big miss on, bars here to me as well. It's a big miss. I don't know why he's blocking the little guy when he has all this help over here and there's no help over here. It leaves us wide open, which kind of messed up this whole play in the first place. Because even if they did run into each other, I guess he could have hit Hollins, But, yeah, man. It just was not meant to be. To be honest. There's no way to explain that. They run into each other and the free blitzer there. Yeah. And they never ran that play before. They're getting interesting. They wanted to bust out. See if they did their homework.
It's
yeah.
Bad execution in the moments that are most crucial. That's in my opinion, that's a reflection on coaching staff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So, because we do see teams with lesser talent. Davante Adams, he's like the best wide receiver in football. So we see teams with lesser talent execute in big moment, right? We see it every Sunday. Yeah. So, that's probably like it's brutal to see, oh man, You had a great concept drawn up right there, didn't execute. Why is that? You're saying that they don't run that play or haven't run that play. So how much have they practiced that play? So you can blame it on Hunter Renfrow, you can blame it on Devontae Adams,
Yeah.
but it's going to come down to coaching in the TDL book, right? But I do want to talk about that 2-point conversion attempt. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see Josh Jacobs' comments after the game?
Oh, what did he say?
He said that he feels like the loss is on him because he had that chance and he didn't convert, whatever it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the short term, you can question Josh McDaniels' decision to go for 2 right there.
Yeah.
But you just won Josh Jacobs, right, for the entire year. Like, he's taking that whole loss. He's putting that whole thing on his back. He's going to run through a brick wall for you, even more so than he already has been. Like, you're saying, Josh, here you go. You win it for us. We're putting the game in your hands. We trust you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because that was a called run. It's a designed run, and so they decide to stick with it at the line, and they go with Josh Jacobs. Hey, we're putting the game in your hands right here. So even though, it didn't happen, I think Josh Jacobs, obviously you've talked about his issues in the red zone, but Josh Jacobs getting that boost of confidence, like that vote of confidence, like we believe that you can win this game for us kind of thing. I just think that in the long term, that's going to pay dividends, hopefully, for Josh McDaniels, because there's not really much else that I can really say that's positive right now.
Yeah. Other offensive thoughts. I thought the offensive line had their best game. They had a good game this game. Pretty much overall, blocking, pass blocking, run blocking, they were solid. I thought they did well there. They need Darren Waller, and I know a lot of people say they want to trade Darren Waller. No, they need Darren Waller big time. I think Darren Waller, he had a couple of key catches against Denver. I mean, he didn't put up a lot of yards, but he had a couple of key catches in that game. They need him. I think it would have been a big difference in this game, I believe, when he went out in that first quarter. I think that was a huge deal because it allowed them to kind of I think they had a guy that could guard Matt Collins. Those guys they had out there, they could guard Matt Collins. It wasn't like that's what the Titans had. So they had a guy that can guard Matt Collins and allow them to just double team Hunter Renfrow and double team Devontae Adams and kind of play trap coverage on everything that Renfrow likes to do and have somebody over the top on Adams. But if you have Waller out there, it opens everything up, and they can't do that.
Right.
So
right.
It's big to have him in these type of games. That's why you need those 3 guys, right? It's for these type of games against this type of offense. You need Darren Waller, so he would have helped in big time in this game. I think they would have really fed him at some point. I think they had a plan for him because just the way they're running the ball and they're throwing the ball inside, they had a plan for him. Because even Horsted got a couple balls. You know what I'm saying? He was getting some balls. So that tells you that they had some kind of plan. But I think they would have had some more deep passes up the middle, things like that to get him going. So I think they had some stuff up their sleeve. But when he went out the game, man, it changed everything.
That being said, Raiders still that was their biggest offensive output so far.
I mean, it was the most.
Or they scored. No, they scored.
They
scored more against Denver.
They looked like a damn good offense on tape. Finally, that's what I would say. They looked solid. Carr had some awesome throws. You know what I'm saying? That throw. I don't know. Oof, that was a crazy route. He should the double team, bro. Get the corner and the safety. Yeah, man.
There was
and that one catch in the sideline, I gave him a lot of crap for it, but that was a tougher catch than I thought.
That was a tough catch.
It was a tougher catch than I thought, but I mean, he still paid a first round pick. He's got to come down with that, man. Like did Stephon Diggs catch that? Probably. That's what I was thinking.
Oh wow, okay. You're gonna say that. You're gonna go there.
Yeah, I just what I'm saying. I just want to say that.
All right. Any other thoughts on
No,
offense before we
we're good.
switch
No, we're good, man.
gears here? All right. So I'm going to get into defense. Gonna go ahead and do a little breakdown. First thing I want to show you guys, talk about is the edge pressure. Okay, in this game, we're looking at Chandler Jones. Okay, they do a lot of have a lot of volume in terms of their ball fakes and what they do. Watch Patrick Mahomes reverse pivot. Okay, but Chandler Jones, he's not even looking at Patrick Mahomes. He's looking at the blocking scheme. He identifies the guard, gives a little olay. Okay, this is unorthodox. This is not how you coach it, but Chandler Jones, he's an over 10-year vet. He can do whatever the heck he wants to do, especially if he's going to make a run stop like that. He had a couple of those in this game. This is Maxx Crosby, okay, with the little run stop. This is like taking down a calf, like a rodeo clown taking down a calf. He just needs to get some rope at the end of that and just like tie that back up. Straight up, that's what it looked like. Okay, here we go. Chandler Jones again. Okay, he's gonna go inside. This is a stunt. This is a blitz. So 24 is blitzing off the edge here. Abrams blitzing off the edge. So we're gonna get a little inside stunt here from Chandler Jones. Watch him with a little throw by. This is like a Jonathan Hankins special. You don't see defensive ends do that every day. Gets in on the tackle right there, run stop, and then also just the pass rush. You know, Patrick Mahomes was under constant duress. Here's Maxx Crosby. Went over this play. This is just an icy spin move. Look at this. That is very dangerous. Okay, if Maxx Crosby's progressing into this type of pass rusher that can win back quickly and has these kind of moves in his repertoire, you know, we're going to see, tons of hurries, multiple sacks a game. Really going forward, it's going to be the norm. You know, Chandler Jones on this side in this play. Okay, pass play, reads out of his pass rush, hits that guy coming back across. Textbook. This is how you play defense at a high level. It's doing these little things. Okay, disrupting the play right there. That was a great awareness from Chandler Jones. Here's another one from Chandler Jones. Going to go with that cross chop. Wins clean. Okay, just doesn't quite bring him down. Forces the incompletion. Throws under duress. Okay, here's another one from Chandler Jones here. Okay, does a little fake like I'm not gonna cross chop. I'm gonna bull rush. He gets underneath him, drives him all the way back. Detaches with the arm under rip move, and just what incredible timing to dive and catch his ankle at the very end right there. So gets Patrick Mahomes gets it off before he hits the ground. And then here's a sack from Crosby. Another look. Oh, you got this is the benefit of having Chandler Jones. You guys aren't understanding. It's not about Chandler Jones' production. Look at Maxx Crosby, the same exact thing that Chandler Jones just did. Waves his hands. Hey, I'm doing a little cross chop. I'm doing something. Nope, I'm bull rushing you. Gets underneath his pads. Get off of me. Right?
Love it.
Okay. So he's emulating Chandler Jones already. He's adding some of Chandler Jones' tricks to his tool bag. Okay. Now let's look at what they did. How did they handle Travis Kelce between the 20s? Okay. When they were in zone, they're going to get into cover 3 here. Okay. When they were in zone, what they would do is they would have the nearest edge rusher whenever Kelce was lined up inside, whether he was a tight end or near slot or flexed out tight end, whatever it is, okay? When he was the nearest slot, they would go ahead and have this up defensive end hit Crosby before he would get into his rush. Okay, this is just going to throw off the timing a little bit, especially when this is the first read. Usually Kelce is going to be the first read. So you have him start worrying about now, before I'm even running a route, I got to worry about a defensive end in my way. So they would use the defensive end to hit. Here's another one. Crosby. I like this play from Crosby because at first he lines up inside shade, then he goes outside shade. He's messing with his head a little bit. Again, forcing Kelsey to worry about, okay, I have to evade this defensive end before I even have to worry about now getting open in coverage here. Okay. This time, this example is in cover 2. Same kind of idea though. Zone coverage, and you're not going to be able to man up on Crosby or on Kelsey. Use your defensive ends. They use Cleveland Ferrell like this a lot too, to hit him before he gets into his route. Then when they were playing man coverage, they would just go ahead and double team him in a variety of ways. I like this call. This is a good look here because it's obvious man. We got all these DBs over here. Okay. And we got this safety. Is he a robber safety? Is he a low hole defender? Is he going to blitz maybe? Okay, what's he doing? He's actually doubling Kelsey. So Abram comes down here in the box. His intentions are unclear. I think this is a good job of disguising. And then he opens up towards the bunch, looks for Kelsey, drives, cuts the crosser immediately, finds Kelsey, and notice how Trayvon Merrick is the guy who's manned up on Kelsey. He was the guy who would be man on the tight end in all their formations. So he saw Travis Kelsey the majority of the game as a matchup defender in man coverage. Trayvon Merrick, here's another one. Merrick, top of the screen, man coverage. Here's another, I think, in theory, this is a smart look. It looks like they're playing cover 1 robber or cover 1 cross, but no, we're actually going to bracket double team on Kelsey. Okay. Only problem is that leaves the middle of the field completely wide open. These guys got to win their one-on-ones. So that's what we're going to get into. Okay. So they were doubling Kelsey. They were hitting Kelsey. That forced Patrick Mahomes, hey, I got to find other guys to hit. Okay. And so unfortunately, he's capable of doing that. This is an example in cover 4. I think this guy, Blake Martinez here, I think he's in the wrong spot. I think he's pushing over here to this hash when Abram is covering this hash and someone goes and makes a catch on the opposite hash. So stuff like that. I think, Martinez, he's, brand new to the lineup. I think he's thinking that this is some kind of man match scheme. And so far they haven't run anything like that. They're only running zone match and zone schemes right now. So Blake Martinez just has to get on the same page. Here's a look. They do this a lot. I mean, who runs this more than these guys? What happens here is we have 2 guys in coverage, Abram on this tight end, Merrick on Kelsey, and now the back to the boundary is going to go ahead and do that little swing release. And Diablo, who's in man coverage on the back, he has to fight over all this mess here. And this is just an easy pitching catch. This is designed. They're not looking to go anywhere else on this play. They immediately are going to read here and try to figure out, are we hitting this guy? Yes or no, right? And so it's an easy one read play from Mahomes. Okay, gets a first down in a key situation. Here's another one. I'll just let it run here. Same exact look. What's happening here? They're playing man coverage. They're doubling Kelsey. And again, Hobbs gets beat across the middle on a drag route, gives up some yak. At the end of the play, here's another one. Amik Robertson, nickel. Man coverage. Okay, he's doing everything right. He's in perfect position still. Just can't, make a play against a bigger bodied receiver. So all these guys, it wasn't just Hobbs, it was all these guys, gave up catches. Okay. For chunk gains, unfortunately. I just wanted to show this one. Look at Cleveland Ferrell. I got some flack on social media. Look at Cleveland Ferrell lining up press corner. Check him out. Oh no, get on the ground, Travis Kelsey, and he falls on him too afterwards. Okay, that's not what you're supposed to do. Okay, we're playing in the field here. Look at Clee. We've had the Travis Kelsey eraser on our roster this entire time, and we just have never realized it. Okay, so for some reason, they had a completely different game plan for Travis Kelce in the red zone. We're going to watch all 4 of his touchdowns here. So here he is lined up. This is a nasty, nasty play. And I think if you run this, even if you have it completely written up on the cards, your scout team is doing it, I think you're still going to score 6 times out of 10. If the defense knows this play is coming, this is a disgustingly filthy play. We're going to get the jet motion at the snap. All of a sudden, bam, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers to the boundary, to the short side of the field. And we're playing man coverage. All these guys are switching spots. This could have easily been a touchdown as well. Number 9 is wide open, but they just go ahead and throw it Kelce. I think having Diablo as the low hole defender, this is a blitz, by the way. Diablo is blitzing off the edge, and Perryman is the low hole defender. I think, in my opinion, I think that they should switch these guys' roles in this scenario here. Diablo just has a longer wingspan, taller athlete, just makes it a bit harder to throw over him. Maybe, but still, I don't know if that would even have helped. Again, that was a disgusting play call. 2 guys could have scored touchdowns easily on that play. All right, so here's another one. They did a lot of this. So what they're going to do is they're going to get a double on Kelce, okay? And really this is just perfect execution on the offense, First, Kelce goes outside, so Merrick is fighting to get across those, but this is a little return route, so he goes outside before he comes right back in. Little angle route, right? Almost like a Texas route, okay? Mm-hmm. And Harmon is there for the inside break. Merrick has the outside break. Harmon has the inside break. He's there. He's on him. He knows exactly where to be and where to go. And it was just Kelce doing a little dead body weight spin away from, this did not result in a tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, this should have been a tackle. It's just an okay player going up against a great player.
You wish you would like dove or something and knock that ball down if you're not going to tackle him.
It got on him so quick too. All right, so here's another one. Kelce is at the top of the screen here. He's going to go across the formation. He gets hit. Perryman, great job. Hit him. Okay, he stays on his feet somehow. And Crosby, unfortunately, gave up contain on this one. Lets Mahomes get out of the pocket. And then somehow Kelce is just an incredible broken field runner, just goes in and cuts back across the teeth of defense. I think really in pursuit, the biggest problem here is Merrick. Merrick is man-to-man on Kelce. He goes across the field, and Harmon now cuts Kelce. They're playing again. Harmon, Kelce are doubling. Harmon and Merrick are doubling on Kelce. Okay, so when Kelce goes under, watch Harmon. He's driving on that crosser. So now Merrick has to go replace the middle of the field safety. Now he's the middle of the field safety here, okay? So watch Merrick. He needs to be always inside out on Kelce. And when Kelce catches the ball, he's going the opposite way, and Merrick is coming this way, and he just gives up. And really, if Merrick is just inside out on this, and he vices this with the guys who are in the right spot, mm-hmm. Then they just tackle him right there. So in my opinion, in pursuit, all these guys are on the right spot. They are making him cut back. There should be someone that he's cutting back into, but there just isn't.
There's nobody there.
There's no one there. So they're all doing the right thing. Merrick is out of position, in my opinion. And then this one is extremely tough. If you go back through, okay, every single under center play from Kansas City this year, you're going to find out of like the 20 that they ran, maybe one pass play. Okay, I saw them do one play action when I was going through and preparing. We didn't do the breakdown because I think I was having technical difficulties. Okay, but I was going to talk about how when they get under center, they always run it. Okay, well, they went for a tendency breaker on this game, and it ends up, forcing these guys, I think, just to get out of position. The other thing is the late motion. Okay, we already have a tight end in line. At the end of the play, tight end comes over. Abram is telling Hobbs, stay, stay, stay. Hobbs says, no, I'm going to come over here. And then now no one is covering Kelsey. Right?
Wow.
So there's just miscommunication here. I think the play action and then a heavy run look didn't help either. But yeah, I don't know how you make that mistake. If anything, someone else should have been completely wide open and two guys should have been on Kelsey, right? But instead, no one actually covered Kelsey. So, yeah. So defense did not adjust. They played the same exact looks that they did that gave them success in the beginning of the game. They played the exact same looks at the end of the game, and they got torched on them. So it's not good enough. Yeah, you might have a game plan that gives Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes some problems, right? Mm-hmm. You might have that game plan, okay?
Yeah.
But what are you going to do now to continue to throw you got to have two game plans ready. You know what I mean? So that when at halftime comes around, now we're doing the second part of this game. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to just keep the status quo because they're going to have a great answer for it, Yeah. And it really just came down to, Patrick Mahomes just finding the one-on-ones, the favorable one-on-ones away from Kelsey in the middle of the field. And, he made those connections happen. And the Raiders weren't good enough. They played so much man coverage, the most man coverage I've seen them play, the most man coverage. I mean, I guess, I don't know, do you have to play man coverage against the Chiefs now that they don't have Tyreek Hill? I think it's a little easier. It's easier to play man coverage against the Chiefs because you don't have Tyreek Hill anymore, right? Because before I was like, okay, yeah, you want to call man coverage. Now you got to play the covered fives and you got to hang a safety over Tyreek Hill. You don't have to necessarily do that anymore. But the game planning, you saw them using the same looks and getting beat in those same looks repeatedly, right? So at some point, Patrick Graham has to be like, okay, this is not working, right? But we didn't see that.
See, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, if MVS is going to get 100 yards, he's going to get 100 yards. We're going to stop Travis Kelce. Basically, that's kind of what I felt like I was watching. Like, we're stopping Travis Kelce at all costs. It doesn't matter if anybody else beats us. We're going to stop Travis Kelce. He's not going to beat us, which is fine. But I think when you have that lead, I think it's when you start playing more cover two. You have to play as much man as they're playing. That's what I'm saying. Those guys are like running wide open. And some of those crossers, and then Mahomes gets open, and then you have MVS versus Hobbs on a crosser, MVS, and he's already have a little step on him or whatever. It's the separation is going to keep going. You know what I'm saying? The acceleration, the separation. I know Hobbs was a 4.4 whatever, but he's athletic. But still, I mean, MVS is a fast guy too, and if he's already got a little bit of step, it's going to gain more as he crosses the field and as Mahomes gets out of the pocket and hits him on the run. So you got to start playing some cover two, man, and let Kelsey eat underneath for a little bit. You're already up 20-7 or whatever. Let them eat underneath. But what happened in this game was different from the Cardinals game. The Cardinals game, the offense didn't keep putting up points. The offense did this game. It was different. The offense kept moving the football. They had they had one bad drive, but then they had two good drives. They had two scoring drives. They put up 10 points really quick. Actually put up 9. But, they still kept the Raiders in the game. They didn't allow the Raiders to get out of this game. But, the Cardinals was like a slow leak. It was like just like the Cardinals weren't even trying to win, but they ended up winning. I mean, they were getting picked apart, man. He was hitting crossers everywhere, just picking them apart downfield. And I'm thinking, man, you got to stop that. Who cares about Travis Kelce at that point? You got to go back to the too-high shell, play a little cover two, make him dink and dunk down the field because he was not dinking and dunking in that second half. That's what I realized too. So they had I was actually shocked. They had their simplest game plan this year in terms of like the volume that they ran. Yeah.
It was like, these more designer like doubles on Kelce and stuff like that. But like, that's what they did all game, whenever they got into man coverage. So, but I am going to put a lot of this blame on Patrick Graham because, yes, you can't get killed by Kelsey. I understand that, but to see them, okay, get into a look, and then they run like a double on Kelsey, and then you get beat on like a drag across the middle, and then they get into that same they get into that same exact look, they run the same exact coverage, and then get beat on the same exact route to the same exact player with the same exact guy in coverage. This is the defensive coordinator putting these guys in that position now repeatedly and not giving them help or not figuring out, okay, that's not working for these guys, right? So yeah, I could sit here and say Nate Hobbs had his best game or worst game as a pro. He gave up all these yards, he gave up all these catches. Or I could be like, why did Patrick Graham keep on putting him in that situation?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
so I am going to put a lot of this blame on Patrick Graham. I know that Nate Hobbs was hurt, but I think if Nate Hobbs wasn't hurt, yeah, that definitely had a huge effect on this game, because if Nate Hobbs wasn't hurt, he's going to make some of those tackles. He's going to make some of these big impact plays, these splash plays that he makes. He'll make a tackle for a loss.
Yeah.
He's always good for that, right? He's going to have some run stuffs, and he didn't even do that. So, yeah, Nate Hobbs giving up a drag to a guy like MVS who runs 4.3s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, okay, he's not Darrelle Revis. Anyone is going to do that. Like, plenty of corners who we think are incredible. Like, Darius Slay might give up that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey will give up that, okay? Like, we're not saying Nate Hobbs is terrible because of that. But the stuff that he does great, he didn't even do.
Yeah.
So the injury must have really had an effect on him. When you break a bone, your body does go in shock.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, like, it's just a biological, physiological response. So maybe that could have, been potentially having an effect. I don't think that we're going to keep on seeing that. Like, yeah, Nate Hobbs, he'll get beat every once and again. He's not a shutdown corner. But the tackles for a loss, the getting into the backfield, the blitzes off the edge, all that stuff.
Yeah,
that was missing from the Nate Hobbs game. We didn't see that. Obviously, the injury had an effect. And then the other thing I want to talk about was Trayvon Merritt had his best game so far under Patrick Graham.
Mm.
They were using him. He was a chess piece for Patrick Graham. They were using him really a lot on Merritt. Obviously, we saw in man coverage situations, but also to get him into like where Patrick Mahomes wants to throw the ball, dropping Trayvon Merritt into those zones. He had a really good game, I would say. So I was happy to see that. Definitely made an impact. Definitely make a positive impact in coverage. Looked really good. Looked solid in coverage. And he had a tough assignment. There was a BS defensive hold call where Travis Kelce lost his footing. He slipped. Remember that one in the game?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they were saying that Trayvon Merritt held him and he got called for that. But other than that, I think that he honestly had a really good game. So
it's good, man. It's good to hear. Good to hear, man. Because I know Diablo's been struggling. Moreg, he's the other good draft pick from the year before. So you want to see that growth in him. So it's good to hear. Fans would love to hear that, man, for sure. All right, man. Anything else that we got? Your thoughts on defense?
No, that's it for defense. I'll probably, in this bye week, I'll probably do a Maxx Crosby, a little breakdown. That'll get us a bunch of views. You know what I'm saying? Everyone loves that. It'll be just a highlight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'll be a cheap way to get some clicks.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna do the Carfax for this week. I thought Carr played really well, actually. Definitely his best game, in my opinion.
Great game. Great game.
I don't care what his PFF grade or how many big time throws they say he had. But I think he played really well in this game. And of course, I'll do some Josh Jacobs. And of course, I'll put my offensive line pressures. It should be like a minute 30 this week, though. So we should be excited. We see some growth. It was 5 minutes versus the Titans. We're at 2 minutes, 30 seconds versus the Broncos. It should be like a minute 30 this week. We're getting better, right? We're getting better. The clip's getting shorter. That's what we want to see. So.
All right, cool. So the other thing is we wanted to do a
mailbag,
Q&A, a mailbag show. Yeah. So letting the audience know now, put those questions in the comments. We'll read them. The ones that we think that we can answer to the best of our abilities, we'll pick. And we'll take a little screenshot, maybe throw it up in the Q&A. In the show. So ask us any questions. Ask us scheme related questions. Ask us fun stuff that we can have fun to get down and find the answers to and to show you guys.
Yeah,
please. That's the ones that we're gonna pick. Okay, if you want to ask us stuff about like gossipy stuff or something like that. Should Darren Waller be traded or something like that? Like, give us some scheme. Give us some scheme questions, and we'll answer those.
Yeah, you give them scheme questions. So mailbag to the mailbag, and we get that mailbag episode. We do that like every bye week. So keep that.
Keep that going. Keep that going.
Keep your tradition going of the bye weeks. So then we got to get ready for the Texans, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get the exciting part. I get to watch Texas defense. You get to watch at least you get to watch Dameon Pierce, at least.
I get to watch Pierce. I like Davis Mills.
We'll see how much you like about the. We'll see if that holds true for you.
Watched 0 all 22 of Davis Mills as a pro. Mind you.
You just give him a nice grade at XTV or whatever XTV.
Yeah, coming out. That's it. So we'll also have the preview for that show ready.
All right, guys. Subscribe. We'll see you. Peace.
Later, y'all.